Hi everyone, the purpose of this video is to give you some information about the slides that you will use for your oral presentations. And again, you'll be doing 2 oral presentations during the semester. So the first set of slides that I'm going to show you here are just random slides that illustrate some of the points that I want you to understand. Now, again, I gave you some files on Canvas that give you more information about creating slides for presentations. But if we look here, this first slide, this title slide, and the design of this slide is nice. In fact, this is pretty much a nice slide. The only thing that seems to give us pause when we look at it is if we see this Johari window, which is actually a topic in dimensions of self, and then we see here a scene that looks like a beautiful beach scene. Now, some of us might think, well, yes, that kind of defines myself as a nice day on the beach, but actually this slide design doesn't illustrate the topic. And so the first thing we want to remember is the slide design that we use should be appropriate for the topic. And another thing that would be wrong with this slide if we tried to use it for anything other than just a title slide is it's got too much going on. If we tried to put pictures on here, this would be overwhelming and competing with the pictures. So for the right kind of presentation, if you're, doing a presentation about a day on the beach, then this might be great. We come down here to this next sample slide. We have over here, this is a clip art image. This is not an image of a real people or real things. It's a clip art image. It's not bad. It's an okay clip art image for this topic. And when we look at this slide, the thing that makes this slide not as good as it could be is it's not balanced. There's too much empty white space. You want to use pretty much all the real estate you have on a slide, so don't leave a lot of empty space on a slide. Down here to this slide, this is the attractive slide. Here you've got a comparison picture. You've got information about both. The only thing that might be a problem with this slide is it's got enough text on it that the presenter might be tempted to turn around and actually read the slide rather than talking to the audience. You don't want to do that and another issue with this is as soon as you put this slide up, the audience is going to read the whole thing. So they're already going to know what you're going to say before you say it. And then if you turn around and read this, they're going to read it with you, so you're going to have a PowerPoint sing-along here, which is not really what you want to have. So maybe this slide would be better divided into 2 slides and with a little bit less text. The speaker would talk the text, but let the pictures show the images of what you're trying to illustrate. If we come down here to this one, this shows, again, on this slide, the pictures do the talking with a little bit of text. And obviously, this text would just be a guideline for the presenter, for what the presenter wanted to say, and a guideline for the audience for what the presenter was going to talk about. So this is a better slide. Remember, always remember, with presentation slides, the speaker tells the story with words, the slides tell the story with pictures. Down here, this slide, a lot of empty space. It's a title slide, but nobody's going to be able to read it, even on the big screen. So anything that you can't read on a slide is useless. So anything that you put on a slide should be able to be read by the audience that's sitting in the back of the room. So do that test with your slides. If I were in the back of this room, could I read the slide? This slide doesn't have a lot of text on it. The clip art images are not terrible. They're okay. We've got maybe a little bit too much extra space here. We could do a better design, and now PowerPoint's design element feature would probably suggest a better design for this slide. And another thing, when you use a slide with a dark background with a color like this, it's going to tempt you to make you need to match this color in all of your images. So a more neutral color is better. Now here we have this one. You don't want to do this. Now, if you are in the 5th grade learning to use PowerPoint for the first time, this might be okay. But these are clip art images that you don't want to use in a professional presentation. These are immature, they're unprofessional, and unless you're presenting to an audience that is a young audience, you might want to use a couple of these, but stay away from these kinds of clip art images. Here's another title slide, and again, this is a good title slide. It's got a picture that illustrates the topic. That's what you want to have, and it doesn't have a lot of anything else going on in the slide design. So this is a good-looking slide. Come down here again. Pictures tell the story. The only thing I would suggest here is this bottom design is kind of wasted space. This design isn't adding anything to the slide, so it would be better to just use this red line is nice, that's good, but I would try to find a slide design that didn't waste this space at the bottom. And we've got this same thing here. But on this one, we've got another clip art image that just really isn't very good. This image this image is not going to draw the audience in, and it doesn't really tell your story. So stay away from these kinds of images. Oh, and I'm going to try to illustrate it even better here. So we're talking about diversity in the workplace. Now these are clip art images. They're not terrible. These are not terrible images. And do they illustrate the topic? Indeed they do. But let's go down to the next slide, same topic, and look at what we did. We replaced the images with pictures of real people that still illustrate the topic, and most professional audiences will tend toward liking this kind of image on a slide as compared to this kind of image. It doesn't mean you can never ever use an image like this, but stick to pictures of real people and real things. And now these last 2 slides are going to illustrate something that's going to be overwhelmingly important. When you do your semester project, you are going to be making what we call handout slides. So let's just assume that I am a professional presenter. I am presenting to an audience on the topic of diversity and inclusion in the workplace, and I am going to use slides for my presentation, and I'm going to leave the audience with copies of handout slides. The handout slides are going to have most of the words that I presented in my presentation. They're going to have the entire gist of my presentation, while these slides, these presentation slides, are going to tell the story with pictures, and I am going to tell the story with my mouth. So this slide tells the story with pictures with just a little bit of text. When we come down here for another diversity slide, we'll see just the opposite. We'll see we've got a couple of slides that tell our story with pictures, but we have a lot of words. This would be all of the information that I would have actually said about the topic. So when you are creating slides for your presentation to support your oral presentations, you're going to create this kind of a slide. When you are creating slides for your semester project, you are going to create this kind of slide. So hopefully that will be helpful for you to distinguish the 2 kinds. Now let's look at some sample slides for and these are for your oral presentations. Well, title slides, I suppose, could go for oral presentations or the semester project. So these are just some examples. You want to have a picture that matches your topic, obviously, your topic, your first and last name. So that's what we're doing here on all of these. So again, and I give you a little checklist here that says, does your title slide have the title of your presentation? Does it have images that match the topic? And do you have the name of your first and last name of the presenter? Title slide. The objective slide says, what do you want the audience to do as a result of your presentation? Do you want the audience to learn something? You want the audience to do something? You want the audience to believe something? You want the audience to buy something? What do you want the audience to do? That's the goal. That's your objective slide. And here, so again, does it contain just one or two sentences? You don't want a whole bunch of text on here. Did you write the objective from the perspective of the audience? And did you include some kind of a design element, either pictures or some kind of a design element? These are examples of agenda slides on a 3-minute presentation. You are not going to have very many agenda topics. 4 probably is even too many, but you can use either this kind of a design, and the new PowerPoint design elements is really good at setting slides up like this, or you can use pictures, put your topics underneath. But you want to have some kind of a design element and list the primary topics you are going to present. Don't list every single subtopic. These are examples of conclusion slides. Conclusion slides are, the primary takeaways that you want your audience to remember. And again, these slides are going to have not a lot of text, and they're going to have a picture that matches your topic. And again, you may say key points to take away. You may say conclusion. You may say, please remember, whatever you want to do here. So text and images, and it highlights the main takeaways from your presentation. These are content slides, and again, here's where we want to remember. Absolutely and entirely, the slides tell the story with pictures. Your mouth tells the story with words. And so you'll see that these are attractive slides where the pictures are the star. And again, creating PowerPoint slide decks is not it takes some time. You can't just do it at the very last minute. Now, the new design features in PowerPoint help you to do it more quickly than you used to, and it helps all of us be better designers than we may be intuitively. And so let's quickly here just look through a sample presentation. So let's just assume that one of the top subtopics you could choose was effective customer service. So here we have the title. So we've got a picture that illustrates. We've got the title and first and last names of the presenter. And here is our hook. And we didn't talk too much about the hook yet, but here you can see that these are statistics that relate to the importance of customer service. And we've got, again, a picture that relates to the topic. Here's our objective for today: to improve customer service, strengthen existing talents with the audience. The agenda, and see how this is following a nice theme. The titles are the same and the design is the same. Not very much text, good strong pictures. Here we go again, good strong picture. Same again, not a lot of text. Down through. And here's here in this case is our conclusion slide, and it looks as if PowerPoint design helped whoever did this one with this, because this is one of the ways that PowerPoint likes to design slides that have several pieces to them. Then we come down here, and we'll see our end hook, which gives us more statistics, so it relates back to the beginning hook. And then we come down to our blank slides, and you'll see this person really classed it up even a little bit more by putting this on here. Now we're going to put Vermont State University starting this year. This was done last year. And then the citations. And you have a copy of this on the Canvas website, so you can refer to this and help you to guide you through your presentation. So I know this is a little bit long, but hopefully it'll be helpful for you.